passengers through Heathrow no longer require tests or proof of vaccine. Want to visit the Hans Christian Andersen Museum or the Little Mermaid by the Sea? Feel free. There are now no travel restrictions in place for tourists visiting Denmark. Always dreamed of visiting the Leaning Tower of Pisa or the Trevi Fountain? No health pass needed. Yet Canada is left behind in a myriad of mandates as tourist season looms. So when the Prime Minister said that Canada was back, did he mean the back of the line for ending the mandates?
The Honourable Minister of Transport.
Mr. Speaker, the last 2 years have been very difficult on Canadians. Once in a 100-year pandemic has compelled governments around the world and in Canada to put together a range of measures to protect the health and safety of Canadians. Over the last few weeks, our federal government has been adjusting these measures. We have removed tests, pre-departure tests, Mr. Speaker. We have removed testing at airports, Mr. Speaker. We are now continuing to adjust our measures based on the advice that we receive from our public health experts, Mr. Speaker.
Italy and Greece relaxed COVID restrictions ahead of tourist season. UK drops all travel restrictions. Denmark lifts all COVID-19 travel restrictions. Hungary, Iceland, Norway, Ireland, Romania, Slovenia, all open for travel ahead of summer, and the list goes on. Mr. Speaker, when will Canadians have the same freedoms that so many others around the world currently enjoy?
The Honourable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I appreciate very much the key word, which is freedom. The reason we have the freedom to relax those measures in Canada is that many Canadians, in fact the vast majority of Canadians, have received their first, their second, and in many cases their third dose. Mr. Speaker, when we hear the opposition speak about public health measures but badly about vaccination, we have to make a choice, Mr. Speaker. We can't have relaxation of public health measures, more freedom, without vaccination and going through COVID-19.
We know that our duty is for Canadians into ensuring that their safety, but these mandates have gone on too long. Canadians are unable to travel to see their ill relatives or attend funerals. Constituents continue to not being able to see their mothers or fathers or siblings or grandparents who are suffering from illnesses. Canadians are looking for hope, Mr. Speaker. What is this government going to do to end these mandates and to reunite Canadians with their families?
The Honourable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm glad to continue. 135,000, that's the number of lives lost in the United States because they have had a lower vaccination rate than we had in Canada. Mr. Speaker, 135,000 people, that's about the size of any one of us riding in our country. 135,000 lives lost because in the other country they had a lower vaccination rate. That, Mr. Speaker, is not only a personal but also a social tragedy.
The Honourable Member, Peace River, Wexlock.
Mr. Speaker, Argentina, Costa Rica, Denmark, Hungary, Jamaica, Thailand, Mexico, Norway, and Poland. These are a few of the many countries that have ended all their vaccine mandates. Even citizens of Cuba, a country with an interesting connection to the Prime Minister, have more freedom to travel than Canadians. However, the Liberal government maintains one of the most restrictive vaccine regimes around the world. On what day will 7 million Canadians get to fly again?
What day? The Honourable Minister of Transport.
Speaker, my honourable colleague never agreed with any of the public health measures we put in place. He never supported vaccine mandates. These measures are temporary and will always consult our public health experts on how to proceed forward. But let me just say to my honourable Conservative colleagues, they can't, on the one hand, agree that vaccines save lives, and on the other hand, call them vindictive measures. That doesn't add up, Mr. Speaker. They have to tell Canadians that they believe that vaccines save lives. Do they agree with that or not, Mr. Speaker?